Welcome.
Welcome to Switching Reels.
I was going to say that. Welcome to Switching Reels.
Hello. All right.
Yeah.
What did we watch today?
We watched The Wind Rises.
The Wind Rises. We have all of our tokens now for everything that we've seen up to this point.
Yep. And so we're going to
off the press.
put that one down because we got to go all the way to Princess Mononoke.
Got to go Princess Mononoke.
So I'm going to put
Ooh,
solidly there.
Squarely in S tier. All right. It is better than Castle in the Sky. Is it better than Kiki's? Yeah, it is. So I got to move Spirited Away down to middle of A. Put Princess Mononoke top of A. Now our A tiers are full.
That's true. Howl's Moving Castle. Oh no, my A tier is full.
Nice. Yeah, I'm going to have a lot of cascading to do here in a second, unfortunately.
I'm trying to... Yeah.
Nice. Good. So he just put it like middle of B tier. So.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Or no, that's A tier.
What?
That's still A.
Howls?
Oh no, that's B. You're
That's
right.
B.
S tier, A tier,
B tier.
B tier. Yeah.
Sorry. So I'm going to put Howl's solid S tier, the highest of S tier that I can possibly go.
All right. Next up is Ponyo.
Ponyo!
And this one's going to be difficult for me because I feel like comparing it and Kiki's are not apples and oranges.
They aren't apples and oranges?
No. I feel like they're very similar in a lot of things. And I have a really hard time picking between them.
Yeah.
Oof.
You're even the one that made the no more than 3 in a tier rule.
I did for this very reason.
Yeah.
Because again, otherwise my S tier would be at least filled up with 5.
Yeah.
And that's too many. I'm gonna say Ponyo edges out Kiki's by just a little bit.
Bottom of S.
It's so close though.
It's super. So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely agree. All right, I am going to preemptively start moving stuff. Kiki's, unfortunately, goes top of B.
Wait, preemptively? This is so post-emptively? Preemptively has been what I've been doing this whole time.
No, because I can still fit one in S.
Yeah.
So, and Mononoke is going middle of A. Ponyo is gonna go. Oh, that's what I was doing it because I had to move My Neighbor Totoro down to put Ponyo at also the bottom of S.
Wow. Okay, so your gap between Kiki's and Ponyo is a lot larger than mine. A lot
larger than yours. Yeah, I feel like these are accurate for me. I do need to watch Spirited Away again, but I would say that Mononoke is better, in my opinion, and I liked My Neighbor Totoro better. So
that's fair. I'm just going to place mine because we all know where it's going to land.
Yeah.
It is actually going below Princess Mononoke.
Crazy. So right now, Princess Mononoke is your favorite Miyazaki film.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy and very cool.
You know what's crazier to me? That Howl's Moving Castle even approaches that.
Oh, I love Howl's Moving Castle so much, but I loved this most recent movie.
Okay.
Which is...
I'm glad to hear that we're...
Wind Rises. It is my second favorite, I think, genuinely, so far.
That's wild.
Yeah, I
love that a lot.
It's so good. I'm so excited for it. So, yeah, let's go and talk about Wind Rises.
I'm gonna move some things around here, I think, just a little bit as far as placement. Make it
easier to see.
Yeah.
Less cluttered. I'll take some pictures later. I keep saying I'll do that.
Yeah, it feels like it has to be cluttered though, almost.
Yeah. So, for those listening, what is your S tier and A tier?
My S tier is in order from top to bottom: Princess Mononoke, The Wind Rises, Ponyo.
Nice.
My A tier, which is almost S, is Kiki's Delivery Service, My Neighbor Totoro, and Castle in the Sky, which I am completely fine with.
Oh, beautiful. Love that. And so far for me, my S tier is Howl's Moving Castle, Wind Rises, then Ponyo. And then my A tier is My Neighbor Totoro, Princess Mononoke, and then Spirited Away. Oh, we just had an upset.
Yeah, a slight one. I think I do like Spirited Away a little bit more than Castle in the Sky today.
Tune in next week, says Connor, for when he moves his stuff again. No, this is great.
I mean,
love this.
that is kind of the thing with these. Like, it really just does come down to.
Dang, Connor, I'm probably gonna use my D tier. We'll see. Maybe I'll go in, or my C tier.
Oh,
because I have
spoilers for next week.
Mathematically, I think. Like, unless his most recent movie was just worse than most other movies.
You've seen it.
I can't give away anything away here, guys.
I haven't seen it yet.
I know.
Yeah, it is funny. The bottom of our lists are identical up until I hit
3. Yeah.
Until I hit Howl's Moving Castle.
I can't believe you ranked Howl's Moving Castle as 4th worst.
Fourth worst for Miyazaki is still better than most movies.
So good. See my very long diatribe on Howl's Moving Castle from a few weeks ago. All right, cool. Let's go talk about Wind Rises.
Yeah.
That's what we were doing today.
Wind Rises is a movie about art.
Yeah,
and about artists and all of this through the eyes of an engineer. And I love Miyazaki for making this film
so much. Oh my goodness. I'm really excited to go and talk about all the things I liked. And oh no, I have to rate this movie. It's gonna be hard. Oh my gosh.
This one's easy for me to rate. It's 10s on both.
10s on both?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I think it's 10 for enjoyment, 9.8 on technical.
What are you knocking down the points for?
0.2. The 0.2 is the time skips that made me feel like I don't know what's happened or where chronologically we are.
That's fair. I think I just have a little bit of a forgiveness for it when it's a biopic of any kind.
Makes sense.
I mean, we haven't gotten to Oppenheimer yet, but when we do, like,
that one does have some really
that one has some abrupt time skips to the point where I notice. And that's still my favorite movie of last year.
Yeah, it was really good. I'm looking forward to getting and reviewing that one here.
Yeah.
That's going to be a great one.
That said, Wind Rises.
Wind Rises was so good.
Yeah. And this one, I think, is probably... I haven't seen The Boy and His Heron yet, so maybe it's better, but I think it's the most underrated Miyazaki film by a long margin.
The fact that I hadn't seen this so far and I had seen a bunch of these other ones already, like, I would completely agree. It's also one of the newest ones.
It is, yeah.
By a significant margin for some of these.
But I also remember when Ponyo came out. Totally. And Ponyo was huge.
Ponyo was huge. I kind of barely remember the blip of Wind Rises coming out, and then you didn't hear anything about it again, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because this was a fantastic movie.
I didn't even know to watch this movie that much, other than I just bought the collection and it was in there.
Nice.
Like,
you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Let's watch this one.
This is one of those, like, I used to blind buy a lot of movies. Just based on, like, reputation to a degree. Like, hey, I've never seen that, I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
I don't do that as much anymore because I don't really have the money to throw around in the film world for blind buying everything that I have some passing fleeting interest in.
Exactly.
That said, this one I was so glad to get to see, and I have never run into someone who has watched this on their own.
There's not very few other in the wild people that have seen this.
Yeah, I am under the impression that the only people that have seen this movie are the ones that I have shown it to.
Nice.
And that includes my family. That includes a couple of friends from film school. Like,
yeah.
It's such... The thing that kept going through my mind with this is there is a restrained perfection to it.
Yeah.
This
like,
feels
this
like
honed.
Right, yeah. This feels like Miyazaki is stepping back and he's like, I don't need to go over the top with anything here.
No.
I just want to tell a good story well, and I want everything in it to be perfect. To the point where you notice a lot of the beautiful things only if you're really looking for them, and they show up as just minor details.
Yeah. Which we haven't gotten over the spoiler wall yet.
That's true. Yep. I will just say there is one point where there is a lamp that is behind glass.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I was like, that is gorgeous.
And it's
and it is not like it's not calling attention to itself.
Yes, exactly.
You know, when you compare it to something like Ponyo, like the visuals in Ponyo,
stunning.
Right? Like stunning, but you are supposed to notice that they're stunning.
Very much so. Like they are over the top. And I think that's something I'd love to go and talk about. Like Miyazaki changes the intensity of the animation and the art style to fit the tone of the movie basically perfectly.
Yeah.
Like even like we were mentioning in a previous episode, Princess Mononoke is like the most visceral of all of them, and that's what the story is. It's a more visceral,
right? Yeah,
like very gritty story.
Yeah,
and like it's so cool.
That one's supposed to pull your heart out.
Yeah,
with a knife.
Exactly.
Like
that one in Nausicaa, I felt very similar about.
Yeah, and Nausicaa was less that, but I also feel like some of that was his second film, and he was still kind of finding his feet. We talked about that. Like, I don't think that it was like he was an amateur or anything like that. I just don't think that he had honed everything to the point where he was like, okay, I can start tweaking these things to make it more immersive and all that kind of stuff. I don't think he was there yet.
Totally.
So.
Whew.
Yeah.
I'm walking up to the wall.
Yep.
I got my ladder. Plopping it down, pushing it over, climbing up.
What are you going to do about the moat? You got to figure that out at some point.
It's a really long ladder. It's like a super long ladder.
That's not... You know what? That is how ladders work, Trenton.
It is.
Because that's something I want you to have.
Completely anchor them into the ground on the other side.
Oh, you anchor them like by hinges?
Like I have set up a spot that you can just go plop it in and then whoop, and it's nicely secure in the ground.
I'll just have to bring my shovel one of these days.
You will. You're gonna have to.
All right. I'm going to say we're going through the middle of the spoiler wall.
Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, send us emails, send us comments on our videos, and things like that. If you want
Catch
to know...
me on my Snapchat or Instagram.
Do you have one?
I have neither of them.
Okay, good. Like, we have both. We don't have a Snapchat. I don't know why you would Snapchat a podcast.
I don't know, man.
That would be weird.
All right, I am Gen Z, but I am about as far behind the times as you can get, while also being Gen Z.
Send us movie pics. Favorite movie.
Unsolicited movie pics.
Unsolicited movie pics, please. Get right through. That one was rougher.
All right.
All right, so we watched The Wind Rises. Do you want to do summaries now?
Yeah.
Nice. You want to go first or second? I don't know how I'm going to summarize this.
I'm going to go first.
Good.
This is a movie about a guy who has been dreaming of making planes since he was a child. Um, he goes off to college to learn how to do this, and then gets a very, it seems, very good job being able to build planes in preparation for the war effort. Uh, while all of this is happening, he is struggling on a certain level with the balance between just wanting to create beautiful planes that fly beautifully and the fact that he is creating machines for war. Also, he is falling in love with a terminally ill woman that he met earlier, and it's beautiful and it's heartbreaking and it's profound in a lot of ways, and I love it very
So
much.
good. It's such a
It's
good
always
movie.
good when you end a summary with "I love it."
I love it so much. Yeah, no. The Wind Rises follows a bespectacled man who bespectacled, sorry.
He is bespectacled.
He's bespectacled. A bespectacled man who cannot fly planes, and so he will make planes. And absolutely adores that process. Saves some families after an earthquake just wrecks Tokyo. Gets into university, does a great job there. Apparently is a prodigy at this because he just absolutely loves this. He has a very beautiful imagination. And through this process goes to Germany, learns about the Germans, comes back home, learns about Japan again, learns about himself, learns about this girl who he saved years ago. And they get married, and she has tuberculosis, which sucks. That's an awful disease. We're going to have a awful piece
Well,
on that.
it's not too awful. I mean, 3 out of 4 cases are benign, is what you told me.
We'll talk about that. And it ends with him creating a beautiful fighter plane, and his wife just goes off to make sure that she dies in peace and doesn't soil his memory of her. So that's nice.
That's so heartbreaking.
It's so sad. I do love it as well, but I was not expecting to get into wartime sad movies again this soon. It's been months of reprieve, and we're back again.
So yeah, welcome back, Trenton.
Thanks.
Um,
It's upsetting that war movies have such a just always have such a strong impact. Goodness
it's upsetting that
gracious.
movies about something that have such a strong impact on
Have a strong-
humanity have such a strong impact on the cinema about humanity.
Yeah, exactly. Like you get emotional points just because you're making a war movie, or a movie surrounding war.
Yeah, that's fair.
Ugh. Goes back into my it's easier to make a sad movie than a happy movie.
It is. I would say it's easier to make a good sad movie.
And impactful.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
But I think if you are able to make a good happy movie, it's more impactful than a good sad movie.
Free Guy is really good for that. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I did not see that one.
But I thought it was in my opinion, a good happy movie.
Okay. I would say, that kind of brings like Shawshank, right? Like that's, again, it's pretty heavy through most of the movie, but the ending of that is so happy. Like, okay, maybe not. Maybe I'm alone in this.
I don't think you're alone. It is true. Like you can compartmentalize the rest of the movie so well and be like, oh wow, look how happy this was.
I mean, the ending is euphoric and cathartic.
Yeah.
And I think
after a
that's...
guy hangs himself.
No. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
No, he gets the rope and then uses it to... We didn't put up the spoiler wall, or we didn't go through the spoiler wall on Shawshank, so I can't get back into this. But rest assured, we will have this conversation off camera.
Lovely. Beautiful. Yeah, okay. So this movie, The Elements, characters are perfect.
Mm-hmm.
The sound design is perfect. Anytime they play the
The
theme
sound
song,
design is
just
wonderful.
so good. Like the the actual like music is relatively like soft spoken and simple.
Hmm.
And again, whenever the theme gets played, you know something is happening. Like
Yeah,
they use the theme to denote important moments.
yeah. They use
Um,
a lot of motifs
so much
in the music.
motif.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. And um, yeah, like everything is precise in this movie.
yeah.
Like you are watching it from uh, Jiro's perspective,
Hmm.
um, and it's incredible.
And that makes the moments of imprecision, not in the art style or anything like that, but the moments where characters are imprecise
Yeah,
feel far more impactful.
absolutely.
Like thinking of the scene when he's going, uh, he's on the train and he's crying
Yeah.
as he's working on the uh, on the plane,
Yeah.
and his tears are staining the paper. Like that feels very, very out of character for him,
Yeah.
but not in a way that makes you go, hey, they screwed up. More in a way of like, oh,
Oh,
he's going through a lot right now. Like,
yeah.
this is screwing him up.
Exactly. And it's conveyed just so well.
Yeah.
And the weakness of I can't remember his wife's name. Shido?
No.
No.
Um, that was a few
Oh,
movies
dang it.
back.
I'm gonna actually have to look this up while we're talking about it. So, look up Wind Rise's main characters. But her sickness is so well portrayed. Like you have these moments of like just very much lively energy, but even when she is in those states, she's very careful and very demure and very like precise in herself.
Yeah.
And when she tries to not be, like she's clumsy, like
Yeah.
she's not someone that is
Well,
doing well.
well, and you see her pushing through a lot of things as well in this, where um like there's the scene where he comes home and she is trying to take care of him after he talks to his sister, and his sister is
Mm-hmm.
like, she is in decline.
Like she's dying.
Yeah. um
Nahako.
Mahako.
Mm-hmm. Nahako.
Okay. um Shido was all the way back in Castle of the Sky.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoops. That was a hot sec ago.
It was Sheeta.
What?
It was Sheeta. That's her name.
Oh, dang. Oof.
But yeah, anyway, that scene, like, it's not played as heartbreaking, but it's hard to watch it without feeling like so much sadness for her
Again, the
as she is like
characterization.
pushing herself through this. Yeah.
Yeah, like, oof, crazy. Yeah. And his sister, like, for being the very just like strong, impulsive one the entire way through, and also breaking down about like, hey, I just met your wife, and I love her so much, and I hate that this is happening. Like,
Yeah.
it's, it's so well conveyed.
Yeah. I really don't know where to go with this movie because like all of the side characters are fantastic.
So good.
The theming around sort of like art and what it means to create beautiful things and what it means when beautiful things are used for war,
Mm-hmm.
like, and the idea of like sacrifice for someone else, and like there's just so much going on with this movie,
So much going on with this
which
movie.
is wild with how restrained it is. Like,
Yeah.
again, we've already talked about that a little bit. This is a very like, it's a slow burn.
Very.
um
But also not slow. Like I was gripped the entire time.
yeah.
Like, whew. Yeah, it immerses you
Yeah,
into these
it's
characters' lives perfectly, and like makes you care about airplane design. Like if that's not something that you necessarily think about a lot,
yeah.
you will now.
I don't care about airplane design, but I love me some art.
Exactly. Like, ugh, that was so cool. It was such a good movie. Let's see what else. There's just so much. Oh, also like the portrayal of someone that like does get that focused. Like we're not entirely sure if he has something going on in his mind, but he's at the like pinnacle of his character is his just dead focus on
Yeah,
like what he's doing at any given point.
there are at least 5 times in this movie, if not more, where people have to get his attention multiple times
Yeah. And
because he's lost in thought.
his best friend is the one that gets him to eat lunch. Like he knows. Like you see that in college, you see that at work.
Yeah,
When it's lunchtime, Jiro is not going to get up. He will not eat.
right.
He will like just continue to work. Like the portrayal of his imagination in this movie,
Yeah,
like his dreams, is just beautiful.
yeah.
Like that's
And
the
that is,
mystical portion of this, and it's so pretty.
yeah, that is the other thing that, like, I bring up when I'm telling anyone about this movie is I'm like, watch it. If you're a Miyazaki fan, you need to know going into this, the magic is way stripped back
Yeah,
and it basically isn't happening ever.
exactly.
Like all of the magic is dream sequences.
All the magic dream sequences.
And like even the um even the things that are his imagination are things that are he's thinking about how they work
Yeah.
and so he's picturing them
He's
or
simulating
he's thinking about how they're breaking down.
Yeah.
Um
Again, simulating them. Like his brain just works so well.
yeah.
Whew.
Oh, there is one other slight magical thing in this.
Yeah.
And this is anytime someone is picturing air travel or anything like that, their hair
Just
starts
goes, but yeah.
starts getting blown upward.
Yep.
And it's not just isn't just Jiro.
Nope.
Good check. It isn't just Jiro. It's his boss. It's his best friend. It's everyone that he talks to about this.
Yeah.
Granted, most of the people that he's talking about this to are people that are already invested in planes and
Yep.
airplane design.
Or him.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's mostly him.
Exactly. Like, whew. Or invested in him is what I was saying.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, whew. Oh, it's such a good movie. Oh, I had something. And then I lost it. He sleeps a lot. But that
For the sake of dream sequences.
Well, that's true. That's a good point. It's likely you're correct that he doesn't actually dream a lot. But like, ugh, that's so cool. Ugh, it's so good. Oh, I was gonna say, at least to me, like for things that were like mechanical whirring or the earthquake or things that should be more like tactile sounding, almost all of them it sounded like were voice effects. Like
oh, interesting.
I noticed this primarily on his first prototype plane when they're cranking it up. That is not an engine crank up sound. I've heard those happen.
Yeah.
This was like voices in unison of some kind.
I did notice that in that scene. I didn't notice it in anywhere else.
I noticed it also like when the earthquake was happening, it's all groans. Like
oh yeah,
monster
that's
kind
true.
of horrific groans. And not like the normal rumbling or like kind of like grinding that you associate with earthquakes.
I wonder if that was intentional.
Yeah.
And if it had something to do with the idea of forces beyond like, I guess, human understanding exactly. And I would go so far as to say, like, the engine, the idea of flight.
Yeah.
Those are, while we have wrapped our heads around the ideas of them, there is something still so wondrous about it that doesn't feel like it's a real thing.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's a hard science.
I took a flight last weekend.
Yes.
2 flights, there and back. And the experience of looking out the window of a plane while the earth just kind of
fades away.
Yeah. Is incredible.
Yeah.
Every time. That's
Every time.
why I will do everything in my power to pay or to get to a window seat short of paying.
Yes. Exactly.
Because like there's just nothing quite like it, and I don't understand the people that close the shades as soon as they get on the plane. They make no sense to me.
How often do you fly? Like, what's going on in your brain?
Even if you fly all the time, how do you lose that magic?
Yeah, I completely agree.
Anyway, all this to say, I feel like it's almost trying to personify those things that are beyond
pure understanding.
Yeah.
Like, he is a kind of person that, like, enjoys the slightly mystical nature of the things going on. He won't necessarily call them out, but he's like, oh, okay. That's just how it is.
I mean, and you even see that with some of the, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of attitude that he has on a lot of things.
For the bulls.
Right, yeah, the oxen.
Yeah, the oxen.
The oxen are nice. I like them.
Exactly.
You know, maybe we can make a plane out of wood that's just as good as, or out of wood and canvas that's just as good as metal.
Yeah.
Like, he is very accepting of the world around him.
Very.
Which is not something we usually see from portrayals of these kind of characters. Like,
no, like full engineers.
Yeah, like a lot of times you see them as like, oh, we're doing this because we are advancing humanity.
Exactly.
And it is important to advance humanity.
Yeah.
This is a person who has no interest whatsoever in advancing humanity. He only has interest in creating beauty.
Yeah.
Because beauty is its own value.
Yeah.
In his mind. And I agree with that. But that's beside the point. Like, it's a very different perspective than we typically see from these kind of protagonists.
Absolutely. And again, portrayed perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Miyazaki couldn't have made this movie at the beginning. Like,
no.
This had to have been near the end of his career.
Yeah. Well, and I think even if you're talking about themes, like, this is an artist looking back on his work.
Yep.
And again, I haven't seen The Boy and His Heron yet. We'll talk about that next time. But in the meantime, I think that he very easily could have ended his career on this film, and it would have been a great send-off.
Just a beautiful capstone.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely agree.
So, anyway, this is a good movie.
It's such a good movie. If you haven't watched it yet, or we haven't convinced you to watch it yet, just watch it.
Yeah.
Like, find a little bit of time. Go and watch it for yourself. It's
not that long. It's 2 hours.
Yeah. It's not that long.
It's not like one of the movies that I would recommend to you that's 4 hours long and is wonderful the entire time. But you don't have to watch it.
We've seen some of those longer ones on this list so far.
That's true.
So, yeah, it's nothing like those. It's beautiful art that you
I do have a 3.5 hour movie that you need to watch, regardless of whether we watch it for the podcast or not, because it's not on the top 250 list. My guess is it's too obscure to be on the top 250 list, but it's called Yi Yi. It's a Taiwanese film.
Yi Yi?
Yi Yi.
Nice.
Directly translated, it means a one and a one.
Nice.
But more accurately, it would be a one and a two. trying to indicate that this is essentially a jazz song, like the entire film is.
Oh, that's cool.
It's about 3.5 hours long, and it's phenomenal the entire time. I got Trinity to sit through it,
Nice.
and she loved it.
Oh, cool.
So, like, if I can get Trinity to enjoy a film that's that long,
3.5 hours
it's worth
long. That's fantastic. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Anyway, man, I don't have a whole lot left to say about this. I feel like there are some movies where I have things to say, and this is not one of them. This is just a movie where I want to gush about everything,
Yeah,
but I have nothing to say.
exactly. No, because everything is just good.
Well, and everything is said,
Yeah.
too. Like, the movie isn't... It feels...
super
it feels like
complex.
it is one that nothing is hidden or nothing needs to be unpacked, but it's also not beating you over the head with anything
Yeah.
or super on the nose, which is so rare.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like it is very close to the epitome of beauty as it comes to like cinematics, in my opinion.
My goodness, I've never viewed it through that lens. But you're right. Like, this entire movie feels like Miyazaki placing himself in Jiro's shoes and wanting to just make something that is beautiful.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Love this. This is gorgeous.
Thanks for watching this movie with me, man.
Absolutely.
I love this movie.
I'm glad that I could watch this with you. Thank you for introducing it to me.
Yeah.
You can add me to that roster of people that you've
I've seen this movie because I showed it.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, if we haven't said it enough, we're watching. Well, I was going to say we're watching Boy and the Heron next episode.
Next week, and that'll be the last movie on the Miyazaki
list. Yep.
Yeah. Oof.
It's a good thing we got these coins.
Sir, it's a good thing we got these coins. I like this. This is fun.
Yes, it will be the last one. I had something else to say, and now I can't remember anymore.
Nice.
Oh, wait. We need to determine whether this should be on the top 250 list or not.
Oh, I think this should be on the top 250 list.
I agree.
But from the, mostly from the artistic standpoint. So, ratings-wise, absolutely should. I don't know that it actually has the, punching power to get enough people to watch it.
That's fair.
Unfortunately.
But I also don't care about those people. I want the best movies on the list.
Exactly.
So
yeah, this is one of the best movies. I would agree. It should totally be on the list if we're just going based off of what we feel.
Yeah. I mean, this is one where anyone that doesn't appreciate a slow burn, it's not going to be for them. Also, if you don't like long diatribes about people talking about passionate things, number one, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, find something you like, please, and pursue it.
And then tell me about it because I'm interested then.
Interested.
But I do understand that some people, it's not for them. I guess.
He says he understands. This is a lie. He mistakes himself and others. He does not understand.
Anyway, I'm ending this.
All right, tune in next week for Boy and the Heron. How do we end this?
I just did.